Is there any indication that there's going to be a big change in this track, or is it pretty much
I mean, I don't want to ever say it's locked in, but I don't think we're going to see a drastic change. I mean, we will see some changes here and there as far as the timing is concerned, and maybe a little bit of a left or right with this. So we still have to babysit this, but I don't see anything coming along that's going to just wholesale make a big change. That's not going to happen. But right now, what we're just talking about is Tropical Storm Helene has now formed down in the Caribbean, expected to be a hurricane as it works its way up into the Gulf of Mexico by Wednesday. And really that probability of seeing that rapid intensification in this becoming a major hurricane making landfall across the Big Bend up into northern Florida is really high at this point. And remember, even a hurricane passing off our coastline, we're on that right-hand side of the storm. We're on that dirty side of the storm. So we can really see some significant impacts and a significant storm surge as well. But we do have to watch for those small changes. Anytime you have a system paralleling the coastline, those small changes, they can spell large impact changes for us here on the West Coast and where it makes eventual landfall. So here's that close-up visible satellite imagery, and you're still seeing the vast majority of this storm is sitting on that right-hand side, but we're starting to see more of this wrapping around on the western side, which tells us the wind shear is starting to lessen over this system. It's starting to get better organized, and that is exactly what the hurricane reconnaissance flights are now finding with this, that it now has that well-defined center of circulation. Winds right now are at 45 miles an hour. It's moving to the northwest at 12 miles an hour. You can see all that deep convection sitting on that eastern side of the storm. But as it works its way up into the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to find an environment that is really very conducive for more development. Warm water, light wind shear, all good ingredients to have a strengthening system. So 90 miles an hour, 115 miles an hour. Could it be stronger? Absolutely. So you have to prepare for a little bit stronger of a storm. And remember, we're on that right-hand side, that dirty side of the storm, so it's going to be dragging a lot of this right over the top of us. It looks like this is going to be a large storm in size, so a lot of this sitting on that right-hand side, working its way right up over the top of us. Now, as far as the watches and the warnings, where you see that pink shade, that's where we have that hurricane watch. That it basically includes all of us right now. And then that storm surge, especially on that right-hand side, close to where it makes landfall up into the Big Bend, a very sensitive area, 10 to 15 feet. Notice that does include a portion of our viewing area up into Citrus County, where we can see that kind of a storm surge as you head down a little bit further to the south, throughout Pinellas County, up into Tampa Bay. Possibility of 5 to 8 feet. Now, the one thing that will be helping us somewhat is it does look like as this is working its way to our north, we will be at a time of that low tide, but up towards Cedar Key, notice that high tide on Friday morning is actually coming, or late Thursday night and into Friday, right around 11:35. So that still could be an issue up to our north. You look at the various computer models, you're seeing that tight clustering right through this area here up into the Big Bend. And then when you look at the European and the GFS, I've plotted the GFS in green. And the one thing that you're noticing here is the GFS, even though we're seeing a tight clustering, the GFS running a bit quicker with this in the European, showing a slower track with this. So that could change the timing of when this works its way through the Gulf of Mexico. So we have to pay attention to that as well. The Fox model showing as we head into tomorrow evening, we start to see some of these rain bands working their way through. So tomorrow night through the overnight hours into early on Thursday, I think we start to see more of these rain bands working their way through. And then that storm makes landfall up into the Big Bend as we head into late Thursday night. So for today, no issues. Scattered clouds. It's hot, very isolated storms around, daytime high at 94 degrees. 7-day forecast. You see those rain chances tomorrow. They start to ramp up as we head into the evening. Thursday, we clear things out for the weekend, and we start to clean up anything as well. Linda?
All right.